What's up, everyone? This is the Raw Truth coming at you with another video. And like I always say, whenever I do videos, it's all about the passion that I have for my people. I want them to grow, want them to love themselves, and also want them to love one another. And one thing that I keep hitting on that I see that's a big problem, a major problem in our communities all over, is the hypocrisy that we have. You know, the hypocrisy that we have, whether it be protesting because of cops shooting us down on the streets, but yet we're not protesting and having that same energy and vibe whenever we shoot each other down in the street. you know and it's like I always say to people whenever I talk to them, it's like we mad that somebody else shot somebody that we want to shoot. And I think that that's wrong and very, very terrible right there. As a matter of fact, it just proves how unstable of a nation that we are. I also talk about the hypocrisy of, our women sitting up there talking about they don't want cops to shoot us down, but yet it's okay to murder over 550,000 babies a year. That's hypocrisy right there. And one thing when you're talking about issues and dealing with issues, you have to expose the root, go to the source of it, and exposing it. A lot of times, well, majority of times, people do not accept it. People don't like it. People hate it. People think that, you're talking out of your mind. They were on one tongue, they say, well, all nations do, then all nations have their problem. Then on another tongue, they said, we don't want our dirty laundry being aired out, but then you do the dirty laundry in the media where people can videotape it. The big brothers of cameras around. And as people who are reporting it, like Tommy Sotomayor, the Obsidian Network, social media, myself, when people is reporting, what's being done to our people and pointing out their faults, like Baby Kel, Rick Scorpio, I hear a lot of, you know, you can't judge me. You can't judge me. Nobody can judge me but God. Nobody can judge me but God. I need you to look and observe what people is saying when they're saying that no one can judge me. Here's a short, little definition that I got from the dictionary called judge. Judge, it's a noun, a public official appointed to decide cases in a court of law. What does that mean? It's like when you break a law, okay? Or you murder somebody or sell drugs and stuff, you be arrested. And a cop is there to do what? Make a decision or make a judgment based on what he sees that you commit the crime. So he arrests you. Now you appear before the who? The judge. And when you appear before the judge, he decides how much bail you have to have. He decides whether you even qualify to even get bail. Maybe you be a flight risk, and he feels that you may go and leave the country or go to another state. So he may take your passport, or he may say to you that you can't travel to another state. You have to be here. But anyway, this judge make a judgment. It's kind of funny that I've who watched a whole lot of cases and stuff. See people say, never say to a judge, you can't judge me. It's funny how that's not being told in a courtroom to a judge who is judging over a case. You can't judge me. It's funny how black women will say that to us, but yet use them same judges to enforce child support. Can't you see the picture? Also, another definition is a verb, and it's called form an opinion or conclusion about a person qualified to pass critical judgment. So basically, judgment is saying something of your own opinion. As a matter of fact, when people leave comments, or whether it be social media or on the streets, and people say, "Oh, you can't judge me," that is an opinion of a person. When you judge somebody, you're formulating an opinion of a person or a certain situation. Judging is goes on in our life. We cannot live without judging somebody. We cannot live without judging what we're wearing. Oh, I don't want to wear red today. I judge. I made a critical decision to wear blue. Oh, and also look at the relationships that's being formulated. You want to talk about the hypocrisy. So you know where I'm going. The hypocrisy of judgment. That's going to be the video title. The hypocrisy of judgment. We have become a people who do not want to be called on the carpet for what we do. So therefore we say you can't judge. You can't judge me. You can't judge me. But if a cop comes up and say clear the area, everybody leaves because it's the cop's judgment that the area needs to be cleared. Why? Because it's a lot of clutter of people and the officer wants the area cleared. Nobody go after that. But yet, if we go and say, look, why don't you clear out the corners and stop selling drugs? Oh, you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. Where do y'all get this from? Where do y'all get this from? How is it that everybody else can judge you, but yet when somebody wants to reach out and actually love y'all and actually care about y'all and tell y'all what y'all doing wrong so y'all can change, so our nation can grow and be better, all of a sudden that person can't judge? Or let me tell you something. Whenever you are fighting in the streets, you have already caused people to judge you. Why? Because whenever people see you fighting, they either want to break it up, or they call the cops. Why? Because that's a dangerous situation. Fighting always leads to somebody being hurt, put in a hospital, or even killed. And by you fighting anyway, you have already made a judgment that you want to hurt somebody, so therefore you want to go after them to hurt them. Hurting somebody, doing the actions of hurting somebody is condemning. So you have already condemned the person needs to be hurt. So you not only judge, but you also condemn. So I'm doing this video right just to show the hypocrisy of judging. You don't want people to judge you, then don't do the things that people say that you're doing. Matter of fact, you judge yourself. The greatest judge is when you able to judge yourself. That's called self-examination. That's called looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, look, I need to change this, and that. The problem is we don't understand what judgment is. We think judgment is condemning. No, a judge, he condemns, but nobody wants to say anything about him or her. Judge, he makes a critical decision whether you can live or die. Sentence you life in prison without parole, or sentence you to lethal injection or the electric chair. See, it's the actions that may come forward determines whether it's a condemnation or not. The only thing that we're doing is pointing out behaviors. And it's kind of funny, those same people who say that we cannot judge are the same people who whooping their children's asses. Why would you whoop your children's ass? Well, I want my child to go right. Well, if you want your child to go right, didn't you make a judgment and you carried out the judgment by condemning your child to an ass whooping? So therefore, you judge in your house and you also condemn in your house. So therefore, how is it impossible? How is it even possible for you to look at us and tell us that we can't judge you when you do it every day in your home? You sit up there and judge a man who was a good man and actually love y'all women like crazy, and what happens? You sit there and judge him and call him lame, call him boring, but yet judge a thug or judge a no good man, a man with swag that always overcomes what? Quality and quantity. Y'all judge a no good man as being worthy, and y'all spread your legs. See, judgment is everywhere. Judgment is everywhere. Every time you go and put down a comment, leave a comment in a message box, or leave a comment to reply to somebody on social media network sites like YouTube, you have already made a judgment. That's what judgment is. So whenever somebody is talking about, oh, you can't judge me, this is not a good judgment, only God can judge me. But then, if that's the case, only God can judge you, then why are you following certain laws? Well, I follow the laws because that's what, but somebody made a judgment. If the law is broken, then you go to jail. You don't want to go to jail, so you're following laws. That's exactly what we're doing. We're bringing law of code of conduct back to our community, but people mistaking it as judgment. So it's the hypocrisy of judgment. It's always been a hypocrisy of judgment, especially you so-called Christians. You Christians and Muslims, y'all the biggest hypocrites ever. Because y'all the one who tells us all the time not to judge y'all. But yet, y'all the ones who's always screaming that somebody's going to burn in hell. Wait a minute. You not only judge, but you condemn somebody. Oh, you're going to burn in hell for that. You're going to burn. Only God can judge me, but you're going to burn in hell. So only God can judge you, right? So shouldn't God be the only one to tell me I'm going to burn in hell? Why is it that he could tell you to tell me that I'm gonna burn in hell, but yeah, he can't use me to tell you to stop stripping. He can't use me to tell you to stop whoring around. He can't use you to tell me to stop. He can't use me to tell you to stop aborting your babies. He can't use me to tell you to get off the corners and stop selling drugs. Can't you see how hypocrisy this is? Can't you see why we as a nation can't get anywhere? Because we don't want to respect other black people of telling us what to do, but we respect other nations. I see it all the time. Every time I see cops dismantling the crowd. Cops going up, let me get this, you look suspicious, and all of a sudden he's going through the procedures. You know what I'm saying? Every single day I see that all the time. It's only when your own tell you what to do and what not to do we have a problem. And it's mainly people who are raised by baby mamas, and it's mainly people who are coming from the Christian church and the Muslim mosque who are my people who give us this attitude problem. Now, in order for us to grow as a nation, we have to respect each other. You want, like I said in my one video, black men remain standing. The good men like myself, who's out there teaching, who's out there doing the work that needs to be done to tell our people and guide our people to do what they have to do in order to be an asset instead of a liability to the community. We are the ones that you need to listen to. We are here to prevent the cops from busting y'all upside the head. We're here to prevent all the other things that may come with it. A lot of people get themselves in trouble because they don't listen. I'm telling you to clear the street corners. Don't be on the street corners at all of a sudden, what happened? Cops rolled up and now you're part of the action. Why are you part of the action? Because had you not been in that corner, the cops would have made the judgment. But see, it took a judgment that I have to do to prevent that made to become to you that may harm you or get you in a heck of a lot of trouble. So when you look at the word judgment and you tell me don't judge, what you're really telling me is I don't want any decisions that you want to make out of my life. So therefore, if you don't want me to say anything to you, well, don't ask us for help whenever something happens, because we have to make a judgment on how much to give you. We have to make a judgment on how much to invest in you. Everything comes from a judgment. So what I want my people to do is to really grow up. Grow up. Understand the words that you're saying. Understand what's coming out of your mouth. So I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to hear what you have to say about judgment. Because all you have to do is look up the dictionary of judgment or judge, and you will see that we fit that every single day. This is the raw truth, and that's about it. Send your hate mail, emails, your thoughts, anything, and we can go from there and we can dialogue, hopefully as an adult.